How's it going, guys? It's Cam here. Welcome back to another video. Today's video will be an update on Palantir, talking about Palantir's upcoming Q1 financials being released May 11th. I'll be explaining why I'm bullish on Palantir's Q1 2021 earnings. This video is not meant to be taken as financial advice, and with that being said, let's get into the video. So here I'll be talking about what I believe the four most important pieces of information released over the past quarter are in terms of potential to positively affect Palantir's Q1 2021 earnings. So first up on the list, we have Palantir's partnership with Amazon, specifically Amazon Web Services or AWS. To simplify this contract, Palantir's technology is available for use by all AWS customers. This is important to know because the amount of companies that use AWS is massive. This means a huge new potential revenue stream for Palantir, and as you can see in the press release, Palantir stated the suite has already been adopted by a number of enterprises, including BP and Lanxess, to enable significant cost savings within weeks. This is one new, potentially huge revenue stream that I believe we could see on the Q1 2021 earnings report. Here are some clips from the YouTube channel Beyond Our Money, interviewing CodeStrap, who is a software architect with 20 years experience in the industry. Links to this interview and CodeStrap will be in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. Here are some clips I found interesting which highlight the magnitude of the AWS deal from this software architect's perspective.
The other thing that was big about it, not only are they reducing time to value of the system, but the TAM is huge because Amazon is like 60% of the cloud market. Almost every single customer I've ever worked with is on AWS, right? Like there are edge cases for Azure, edge cases for IBM, but yeah.
I read that that's
big, and like they literally just opened up, potentially millions of customers, but likely tens of thousands of new customers with that announcement. And I wish, they had to have been.
Now that you're aware of the magnitude of the AWS deal, let's move on to the second biggest reason why I believe Palantir will have strong Q1 earnings, and that's because of their IBM partnership. A quote from the press release announcing the partnership says, "Built on Red Hat OpenShift, Palantir for IBM Cloud Pak for Data is intended to help businesses reduce data silos, integrate data sources across hybrid cloud environments, and govern data through the AI lifecycle." So we know Palantir is working directly with Red Hat OpenShift, which is part of IBM's cloud platform. This is interesting because IBM's Redshift platform has had quarterly growth that analysts weren't expecting. Obviously, Palantir working with IBM's Redshift may not be a large factor in its growth, or even at all. However, it is still something to consider. Here's a clip of Jim Cramer talking about Redshift's unexpected growth.
Skeptic.
Yes,
okay?
He is.
He's a skeptic, and he's talking about a number that I thought was rather surprising. He's saying he thought that their cloud and data platform, ex-Red Hat, could grow at 8%. Christian says he was looking for 1 to 2%. I find that's not incremental, David.
Right. That's significant.
Yeah.
That's new. Total cloud revenue for the quarter, $6.5 billion. That was up 21%, up 18% when you adjust for divested businesses and currency, Jim. And Red Hat specifically was up 17%.
Which is fine. That's what we were kind of hoping.
So even if Palantir didn't have much to do or anything to do with the increase in Redshift's earnings, the partnership with IBM still opens them up to a whole lot of new customers. Now here is CodeStrap, the software architect that I featured earlier, talking about the magnitude of the IBM deal for Palantir.
So anyway, it was so huge because if you can deploy on the world's largest cloud provider and you've reduced time to value for your potential customer, that means your acquisitions are going to go faster, your sales pipeline is going to start speeding up. You're going to be able to scale, and when you have access to a customer base or a sales force like with IBM, where they have like 2,500 people, that's really important because those people need to be able to put deals together.
There's a summary of what I think are the most noteworthy points surrounding the Palantir and IBM partnership. To sum it up, we have Redshift beating earnings and IBM's vast customer base that Palantir can now take advantage of. Now let's move on to the next reason I believe Palantir will beat their expected earnings. That reason is recent comments from the CEO Alex Karp and the COO of Palantir. These comments are regarding the commercial side of Palantir's business. Now, when looking at a CEO's statements, I always take what they say with a grain of salt for obvious reasons. Despite this, I think what Karp says in this clip is still noteworthy.
This is what we're going to work on in the next couple months until the end of the year. That combined with the fact that our work in especially commercial and government in the US of A is just dramatically increasing, should keep us at Palantir very close to what we like to do most, which is work on our company and work on helping institutions that help the countries we work in. Thank you.
Now, as you can see, Karp almost seemed to be at a loss for words when describing Palantir's recent growth in the commercial and government side. This is in line with what the COO of Palantir said in their recent demo day.
Today we're building on our inaugural demo day back in January. That event brought exceptional interest in our platform from around the globe, but in particular incredible demand in the US where we just almost can't keep up. Today, we'll be taking a...
Here we have both the CEO and the COO essentially stating that the demand for Palantir software is growing very quickly. One reason why I believe in these statements would be Alex Karp's long-term viewpoint on Palantir. He has stated numerous times that they're focusing on Palantir's success in the long term, and Kathy Wood from ARK Invest even said this is music to her ears as an investor, and mine too. This long-term perspective would mean Karp has no reason to lie about the state of business, since he's said multiple times that he's not concerned about the share price in the short term. There are many other reasons I personally trust Alex Karp and even love him as a CEO, but I'll save that for another video. Moving on to the last point, you'll notice I put contracts and balance sheet improvements. Let's start with contracts. Here's Palantir's 2021 press releases. If you've been following along, you'll know Palantir has been racking up a lot of contracts, and there's been more rumors surrounding Fortune 500 companies working with Palantir than ever. I myself have a video talking about a possible contract with AT&T that I will link in the description down below if you want to check it out. Something else to consider is Palantir can't announce a lot of their contracts with commercial businesses as soon as they occur, so we just have to estimate. Although, based on the CEO and the COO comments discussed earlier, I'm predicting new contracts are quite plentiful for Palantir. Lastly, we have balance sheet improvements. If you remember back on April 1st, Palantir made a press release stating that they eliminated $200 million in debt. This point is likely to have less of an impact on Palantir's financials when they're released compared to the revenue from the AWS or IBM partnership and even all the contracts Palantir's collected throughout Q1. That being said, paying off $200 million in debt never hurts a company's balance sheet's health. So are you bullish on Palantir's Q1 earnings? Let me know in the comments below. I'm also considering making a video on why I like Palantir for the long term as well. This includes things like institutional ownership, changing data laws across the globe, and IL-6 clearance. So if you guys would be interested in hearing about these topics, focus more on Palantir's long-term growth, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload a video. As for what I'm doing with Palantir, I have had a position ever since $14, and I've been adding to my position ever since and don't plan on selling anytime soon. Palantir is now the biggest position in my portfolio, and I believe the company has great potential. Thank you all for watching, and if I provided you with any useful information, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help boost me through that YouTube algorithm. See you guys next time.